Hi all, I hope this finds you well. So we are now the weekly property update. So this is where we give you really good insight into recent listings in Fife, what sales are looking like in Fife, and what we as an agency have coming soon. Give you some weekly stats as well that give you an idea of what's coming to market and what's selling within the Fife market. And I'll also cover some of the shows, just give you some highlights of some of the shows that you may have missed this week that we've broadcast on our channels. And again, you can maybe tune into those on the rerun if that's of interest to you. So lots of information to come to you today, and really looking forward to sharing this update with you. In regards to what we see on a weekly basis in regards to property selling and what's being listed, really interesting stats this week. Let me just show you what those look like. Let me just get that up on my screen, it won't be 1 second. 1 second. Some technical problems this morning. Share screen. Here we go. We will get there eventually. I'm having some technical issues with the screen. Just give me 1 wee second. There we go. We're coming. Yay, perfect. So when we look at this is covering the areas of all of Fife, and it's covering the period of 2nd to 8th of March of this year. Really interesting to see how that's worked out when you look at the totals at the bottom here. So 136 properties were instructed, so that's new properties coming to market, and then 140 have sold. When we look at that as a region, that's really good and interesting stats when you think that this morning on Zoopla, there was 916 properties on the market for sale. If we're selling 140 in a week, then technically at this moment in time, we've got about 6.5 weeks worth of stock that's actually available on Zoopla. What that looks like, if you can see there, 136 people have instructed properties to be sold this week. That's roughly 20, just short of 20 people a day in Fife are deciding, let's put it up in the market, let's see what happens. And what that looks like in those areas, you can see here. So Cooper, 11 instructed and 7 sold. East Neuk, 6 instructed and 7 sold. You've got St Andrews, where there was 9 instructed and 12 sold. So again, St Andrews performing quite well in that month. You've got Levenmouth, where there's 11 instructed and 13 sold. Dunfermline, 62 versus 58. Glenrothes, 11 versus 19. So that's really good stats in Glenrothes as well. And then Kirkcaldy, 26 instructed and 24 have been sold. So that makes for interesting ideas in regards to maybe where your property is, what you're looking at, where you might be selling. If you're looking to move to a particular area, you can see kind of what the availability of property is looking like. So that gives you a really good insight into the market. So interesting to see that there's 20 people every week as well in Fife. So that's 5 people, 4 or 5 people every day are deciding that they want to sell their house. So if that is something that you're thinking of doing, then you can see where they're selling in the areas as well. Really interesting. When we then look at some of the shows that we did this week as well, because I think, again, that's good insight for you if you're looking at anything with ourselves. So when we've done the shows, we had Sophie and I did a great show, actually, which was about tricky home spaces and turning challenging areas of your home into valuable assets inside and also outside. So many homes have that one tricky spot, don't they? It's an awkward nook, it's an unused room, and you're looking really to see how can you use it? What does it look like? So this show was really insightful. The link is in this post, so you can feel free to go ahead and have a look at that and see if that will impact yourselves and maybe give you some top tips in regards to how you could utilise your space. Really interesting, actually, article that one was. We then have the Wealth Creation Show. So that is Richard and Jim. And the Wealth Creation Show was the rule of routines. So everyone's ideal routine does look different, doesn't it? Creating regular habits is something that is really important to do and actually can make you feel better, can't they? But it can also be tricky to do. Sticking to habits can be a difficult thing. Sometimes we set ourselves too high a goal and then that goal just seems unattainable, so then we don't actually continue with it. But once you recognise the need for structure, which is what Richard and Jim will talk about, also how to focus on a routine and how you can do that, giving some stability to yourself as well, and actually a sense of safety and security as well. Do you want to create regular habits? Well, you should listen to that show and it will give you some really good tips on how you can achieve that. And again, the link is in this post for that as well. What we then look at is what we potentially have coming to market. So we're looking at properties that we have instructed with clients this week, and we have a few for you, some really nice ones. So we've got one in Wagon Road. I'm actually doing the pre-portal for that one next week. That is a 3-bedroom ground floor apartment. So ground floor apartments are really highly sought after. That is a great location as well. So it's in the heart of Leven. So you've got the high street, you've got all the restaurants, the bars, but actually most importantly, you've got great transport links as well. So you're on the bus route and you've got that train station close by too. So definitely popular area to be living in at the moment. As I say, it's a 3-bedroom ground floor apartment. We then have one as well in Crail at Sockhope Links Caravan Park. So this is a 2-bedroom seaside lodge. It's nestled within a beautiful coastal setting, and it's got uninterrupted views as well across the Firth of Forth. And again, that pre-portal is actually on our website at the moment. So if you want to jump over to some of our social channels, you can see that on there. We then also have coming soon Blacklaws Steading in Anstruther. This is a 5-bedroom detached villa. It is immaculate. It's beautiful inside, and again has panoramic countryside views towards the Firth of Forth. It's in a great location. Definitely something for you to look out for. It's a great property. We then had a couple of solds as well this week. So let me just talk to you about those. I'll just see if I can share the pictures of those for you. Give me 1 second. And the first one they have is in Leven. So this was a great property in Turpey Road in Leven. Unusual layout actually, but works really, really well. So it's a bungalow, as you can see. So you've got that 1-level living, and the new owners are really looking forward to it. They're living out of area, although they know this area very well, do lots of walking here. So very much looking forward to settling in their forever home in Leven. And this one was on at offers over £220,000. So again, if you have a similar property, at least this gives you a bit of an insight as to what the value might be for yourself. The next one we have is in Charles Jarvis Court in Cooper. This was a really spacious 4-bedroom detached villa. Beautiful location as well, really sought after location. And the new owners are first-time buyers, really looking forward to settling into making this their family home. And this one was offers over £270,000. So again, a beautiful house there. And I should just stop sharing that with you. Perfect. What we also like to cover, just to give you a bit of an insight to it as well, is not necessarily to say what we're selling or what we're completing, but actually when I do the UK House Price Index show, I talk a lot about what we do in regards to transactions, and transactions being what keys handed over, money in the bank. But the transactions are what really show the health of the property market. It's not necessarily what prices are selling for, but it's actually how many properties are selling, because there's so much linked to property market. You've got all of the supply chain. So you've got your electricians, you've got your plumbers, you've got your movers, your removal people. Literally every store, everyone's decorating, everyone's doing something to their new house, gardeners, etc. Home improvement stores are really popular in regards to people buying new property and reinventing them for them, put their own stamp on them. So the transactions are a really important part, because it really does fund what goes into the economy. So if we look at what completed with ourselves, we had one in Attorney Drive in Upper Largo. This was a 3-bed mid-terrace extended villa. It sold for £183,000. Well, we can't tell you that now because the keys have changed. The new owners are upsizing, looking forward to living in the idyllic coastal village, isn't it? Upper Largo is just absolutely beautiful. It's in a great location as well. This particular property was fabulous. It had access to the beaches, the golf courses. You had all those lovely walks around it as well. And that was a really nice property. We then had one in Falkland as well, in Millwind. This was a 3-bed Grey Sea listed detached cottage, and it was on a huge plot as well, really substantial plot. That sold for £250,000. The new owners are delighted to be moving into the area. So again, someone else moving to Fife, must be something in the air, our beautiful countryside that everyone wants to come and live at. And they're looking forward to spending their time in their beautiful south-facing courtyard garden as well. So really going to enjoy their sunshine there. And it's such a lovely village as well, Falkland. So much to do there as well. Lots of events and crafts fairs, etc. go on there. So really interesting features in regards to what you can be getting up to when you're in that location. That is basically a roundup for this week. I look forward to doing the monthly update with you. That should be happening in a week or so, and certainly one for you to be looking out for. interesting to see what's happening in the market. We've seen lots of trends and shifts take place in the property market at the moment, but I think you can see from those stats it's quite a stable environment just now, and for 20 people every day in Fife to be looking at selling their property, it's a great time to do it. If you think that you need some help with that, you can always feel free to reach out to us. Myself or the team are more than happy to help. You know how to get in touch with us. You can message us directly here on any of the shows that you maybe have watched, or you can contact the team by phone as well. Messenger, WhatsApp, we're literally available on every mechanism that you'd want to. And likewise, if there's anything that you are reading or any questions you might have on any of the articles that you've seen with ourselves, then by all means, certainly feel free to reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help. And it's Perry at Fife Properties TV. Take care. Bye-bye.